Back on, Gertie Rude, back again, the Monday mood. Well, here we are, I'm in Sussex, and it's raining, and it's bank holiday, part of the course. Of course it's raining. All last week when everybody was at school or at work. Beautiful, gorgeous, 29, 30 degrees, bank holiday where everybody's off. Raining, overcast, mouldy. So anyway, I thought we'd start with this today. They see victims as an underclass. Maggie Oliver on politicians' contempt for the R-gang survivors. So shall we jump in and see what's happening here, darlings?
So, on Radio 4's Any Questions?
Talk up, darling.
I don't know if you saw the documentary on Channel 4 about rape gangs.
No, we want to blow that little trumpet now, do we? Yeah, okay.
There was a real issue.
Let's get that dog whistle out, shall we?
Right, before we start, so she's used that dog whistle. It's what ne'er-do-wells and particular politicians, so yeah, ne'er-do-wells, will throw at people to shut them up. So dog whistle, in the common vernacular, sorry, I'm just struggling with my leads at the moment, as you do. In the common vernacular, to dog whistle is, it alludes to, well, like we know, a dog whistle that you can blow and only the dog can hear it. No one else hears it. So in political sense, I suppose it means you're sending sort of a subtle message or using language that only a particular type of mindset will pick up and understand what you mean. So it's sort of conveying messages subliminally, darlings. So talking about children that have been outraged on an industrial scale for generations, hundreds of thousands of children. I mean, it's been going on. It was going on when I was young. I mean, they're trying to say it was only the last decade or so, but it wasn't. And so it's been going on for a very, very long time. It's kind of part of the culture now, kind of endemic and ingrained. And also, as the particularly ethnicity of the predominant perpetrators, not all of the perpetrators, but the predominant perpetrators have become entrenched. They seem to be a very patriarchal, whereas we're not. And they seem to have more solid extended family and familial ties, and quite clannish in the way that we lost post the Second World War. Do you get me? Like before, everybody knew their families and everybody knew their neighbours, and usually your families lived just around you, and it was solid. What we once had, they have got. And so very often when people do well in the family and go up the social scale, it benefits the entire family. And it's like I've said to you a dozen times, nobody cares what religion you are, what your skin colour is, when you're in a position of power or you've got money. You can be an alien from another planet. If you're mixing with the right people that are in positions of power like you, or have got lots of money like you, or are successful business people like you, or are high up in civil service like you, that they're all on the same page. They're all on the same page. So this is the rub here. And dog whistling is just a way of putting down the victims and denying them any sort of even acknowledgement. I'm not even saying justice, just acknowledgement would do, wouldn't it, really? I mean, that reprehensibly vile creature, I can't think what her name is. And is it the other one? Oh, I can't think, the one with the short hair. Oh, she annoys me. Jess Phillips. Yeah, I don't know what she is. Anyway, oh yes, she's for women under the Labour government. Oh, safeguarding and women's something or other, women's rights, women's whatever it is to do with women's. Yeah, she hasn't seen any of the survivors. She did make overtures after being called out by a particular survivor on a particular news item, and so she contacted the family and said, oh yeah, well, if you'd like to come to Birmingham, I'll speak to you. And the family were like, no, it doesn't really work like that, Miss Phillips. Bloody bleeding blah. You owe to come to where we are and speak to the survivors. But she couldn't make it, so she's never actually spoken to any of the survivors. So this creature here, she's a minister. She's a minister sinister. And her name's Lucy Powell. But we're going to hear, poor old Lucy. It is about Lucy, darlings. Poor Lucy. Get your tissues ready, and I hope you got your big girl drawers on because you're going to need them.
It's worse every time I hear it, and I've heard it about 100 times now. Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp has now joined calls for her to step down, accusing her of belittling the victims and brushing off one of the most horrific failures in modern British policing. And earlier on GB News, Health Secretary Wes Streeting was put on the spot by Camilla Tominey.
Right.
said what she said to
I like
Tim
Camilla.
Montgomery.
Why did she
That
say
wasn't the right response to fair and reasonable points he was making. Well, because she's human and we make mistakes, and I've been in those debates.
Oh, I get it. There we have it. There was me thinking she wasn't human for a minute. Oh, turns out she is human. Oh, and what was her job? Did she, like, just some sort of talking head on YouTube, or does she work in Poundland? Let's have a look. Oh, she seems to be a minister for the sitting government. Ah, and she's human, so she's made a mistake. So when she called the girls far right on the whole subject of the glooming, so should I say glooming gangs? Because I can't say the R word because I'm too small a channel, I'll get into trouble. So the glooming gangs are a far right conspiracy, and if you talk about them, then you're just sending subliminal messages. Because as I told you, the common vernacular of the phrase "to dog whistle" means that you, by saying nothing, convey messages subliminally to interested or uninterested or disinterested parties that will immediately grab on it and think, "Oh, you're talking to me. Oh, I can hear your dog whistle." It's ridiculous. But we're going to hear that poor Lucy, where is it she worked again? Oh, that's right, she's a minister for the sitting government. She's human and she just made a mistake. You see, that can happen. That can happen. Because I'm sure any of you in your life, yeah, say where you are. Now, say if you're even in a room on your own, yeah, and I was to say to you, what do you think about the glooming gangs, industrial scale, that have been going on for decades, generationally, yeah, is occurring? What would you think about it, seeing as how I'm just asking your opinion as a sentient fellow human being, darlings? And if you said back to me, well, Gert, I think you're a far-right extremist to bring it up, and I think you're dog whistling. You see, would you say that? Would that be a thing? Because usually I've found, even if you say it in private, is quite reprehensible. If you then go and say it in public, or say in a social situation, a dinner party, and somebody brings it up, and you say far-right conspiracy, dog whistling, yeah, that's one thing. But if you say it when you're on, say, a news programme, and working at maybe Poundland, oh no, hang on, sorry. Oh no, she's a minister for the government. So she's, oh, that's quite high up, isn't it, darlings? So she's a minister for the government, and she's asked on a news programme, I'm thinking, is it that politics programmes they show on the flea BBs that nobody watches? Can't think what it's even called now. Politics This Week or something. No one cares. Oh, Newsnight. No, I don't know. I haven't watched TV for decades. I'm better for it. You can tell by the way I speak. I'm much better educated now, aren't I? Well, I was thick as mince before, and nothing much has changed. So, if you did, sort of when asked, put on the spot, per se, and you're stacking the shelves in Poundland, or maybe you're taking the orders in McDonald's, and somebody said, what do you think about grooming gangs? And you said, oh, don't say that, that's far right, that is. That old chestnut, we don't want to hear about that, that's a dog whistle. You see? And then people judged you on that as they drove away with their order at McDonald's, or walked away, went to the tills, bought their stuff at Poundland, and walked out of Poundland and thought, what a bitch, you know? They're out of order because they literally have got no right to think that about you. Do you see what I mean? It's completely out of order. We're going to hear why. So let's just grab each other and go manfully or womanfully forward. Keep buggering on. Right.
Formats before,
right.
Where sometimes in the heat of debate,
yeah.
you say something that you didn't mean, or it comes across in a way that you didn't intend, and you really wish you'd rather not have said it.
Oh, so we've heard what happened. She was served. She was out the the cubby hole when you go through the drive-through. And like when you're waiting for your order and it just comes up in conversation. Weighty things do come up in conversations when you're at McDonald's drive-through. And you did say to the girl behind the counter, what do you think about the grooming gangs? And she said, that's a far-right conspiracy. That old chestnut, we don't want to hear about that. That's dog whistling, you see. And then I drove off and I felt a bit offended. So then did I contact HR at McDonald's to say, look, I felt quite offended. And they would then say to me, she's human, she's at work, she said something she didn't mean it. Would that be a thing? That would be entirely fine. And to say that publicly, or it's kind of a private conversation, albeit in public. But one can deduce that even though you had that private conversation in public, when you drove away, you would then be able to make or form an opinion on what the said person who's just expounded that opinion to you may or may not be like in private. Or is it just me? Am I being picky? And this lady is, I'm just trying to find out what branch of McDonald's. Oh, no, we're still on Lucy, minister. Oh, she's a minister. There you go, she's a minister for the sitting government. And when she was asked in public, very public, on a political programme, her opinion about the Glooming gangs, yeah, she said far-right conspiracy, but she didn't mean it. She didn't mean it. She's human, though I'm finding hard to find any, signs of sentient life at the moment. But we will plough on. We may find it yet. We may find she has in fact got a pulse. We don't know. And it would be churlish of me to wander off and assume that dear old Lucy hasn't got a pulse, or dare I say a heart. But we do need to walk away and remember that Lucy that works at Poundland, or minister, is human and didn't mean it. She didn't mean it, and humans make mistakes. So we can all move on, it doesn't matter. And the Glooming gangs, that's all in hand now. They're just annoying, aren't they? Are they annoying? Do you find them annoying? I find them annoying. You've got like a generation of young women now. They've got children. They were like between the ages of, some as young as 6 and some as old as 15. Yeah. And now they've all grown up, sort of 15, 20 years later. And they just won't shut up. Will they? It's annoying, isn't it? And I'm sure they're sending subliminal messages to me. They're sending subliminal messages to me. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. I'm not sure. Who shall I report? Shall I go up McDonald's and tell them? Or shall I tell Lucy? The sinister Lucy? I think I will. Where do I write the letter? And I'll just put Sinister Lucy, Westminster Government Place people in London. You'll get there. She'll get it. And I'll say, I know how you feel, love. I know you're human. You make a mistake. You didn't mean it. Okay? Just being spiteful. And those girls, why won't they shut up? So annoying. No one wants to hear about it. I mean, move on. Get over it. Christ's sake.
It's a sincere apology. I was in touch with Lucy last night. I think she's genuinely sorry.
Oh, so you were in touch with Lucy last night? I think you should have said Lucy was touched last night. Touched in the blue net. Oh, poor old Lucy. Oh, stop. Should we start a Go Griff Me fund so we can send her a bouquet of flowers up to the government place? Because I feel bad for her. I do. Poor Lucy.
Well, I'm delighted to be joined now by former detective constable and the founder of the Maggie Oliver Foundation, Maggie Oliver herself. Maggie, good evening. Thanks for your company. You are, of course, a Rochdale Grooming Gangs whistleblower, a pivotal person.
I'm her biggest fan. And if anybody comes at me and says, you can't be because I am, well, we're going to have to fight to the death, darlings, because I literally am her biggest fan. Yes, I want to be her. I want her autograph. On a serious note, I do love Maggie. We all love Maggie. Come on, Maggie. She has got, I was going to say balls, but obviously that would be a metaphorical thing because obviously she hasn't got balls at all. No, none at all.
In this whole scandal,
Definitely a woman.
Do you accept her apology and her retraction,
Yes.
Lucy Powell?
No.
You know what, Ben?
Bugger.
I think it just verbalises the contempt that
Yes.
I've witnessed successive governments have towards
Boom.
so-called
Here we
grooming
go.
gang victims. It's insensitive, it's insulting,
whistle.
it's dismissive,
Yes.
and I have witnessed for the past 20 years actually, but most definitely for the past 13 years, many politicians not give this issue the respect and the action that it needs. So
Can we unpack that? Why would you think that might be, darlings? Why would you think that might be? It's not, I'm going to stand on the fence here. Well, obviously you've seen me. It better be a big fence. It better be like the Berlin Wall. It needs to be a bit structured and a bit, do you know what I mean? Robust. But if I am perched on that fence, I would say that successive governments of either ilk and also no ilk whatsoever, so have successfully dog whistling, situation going on, annoying girls, untermensch, probably, yeah, underclass even, so we don't need to really just keep going. I mean, move on. We've got all these new doctors, we've got all these new engineers people, all right, they never ethnicity. It's not their fault, is it? Hey? They're coming over here. I mean, basically they're doing us a favour. These girls, they've got no life anyway. And keep going on. It's just annoying. And stop having to go at poor Lucy, because she didn't mean it. She's human. And she just misspoke and said a mistake. It could have happened to anyone. I mean, I know I've said it on occasions. I'm sure you all have. Haven't you? When people come up to you and say, at pains of repeating myself, what do you think about those Glooming gangs? You just say, well, stop dog whistling. It's a far-right conspiracy. I mean, we all do. Everybody says it. Come on, be honest.
The fact that she said this,
yes.
I don't think surprises anybody.
Well, I'm outraged.
I've tried to inform and
educate
educate the country over the past 10, 12 years.
Right.
But now I'm calling really for action. And, Lucy Powell is just another example of somebody in a high place who doesn't understand the life-destroying trauma that, having been ignored and blamed by the establishment, that all victims of sexual abuse feel when they're ignored and abandoned in the way that these children were.
But Maggie, why...
Can I stop? I'll just let her get to the end of that. Sorry, darling, I love you too. What's his name, that lad? He's a nice lad as well. So we'll unpack that. So basically, what's happening here is it's not Lucy's fault. That is the crux of the matter. I don't think I need to say anymore. And the girls, well, yes, they're so what, disbelieved. No one cares. Just bugger them. And should shut up, really. Should shut up for the sake of diversity was the quote. It was the quote. I think it was quoted by, I'm sure, a Labour female MP, actually, at some stage. That is an issue, and I think they're being rather unpatriotic, because any time soon, all our ethnic brethren, they're going to start getting upset. They might, cry. And seeing as how they are now also in positions of power themselves, and also once you're in a position of power, you mix with other people in a position of power. And it doesn't matter what deity you may or may not worship, and it doesn't matter what hue of, let's say, skin you may or may not have, really doesn't matter at all. What does matter when you go up the social circles is mixing with people of your ilk. Same amount of power as you, same amount of money as you. They all bond together, seeing what's called closing ranks and sweeping things under quite large carpets. You couldn't even say they sweep it under the rug, which was the common saying. I would say it's more of a carpet. And if that carpet was, say, big enough to roll out at Wembley football stadium, it probably is that big. And it's probably quite stuffed full now. I wouldn't advocate for anybody playing football on that particular carpet, because it is quite bumpy. Yes, it's full of quite a lot of crud that they've swept under it. So there we go. And we do need to remember that it isn't Lucy's fault. The girls should just shut up for the sake of diversity and move on with it. And so what if people don't believe them? People don't believe them. Yeah, why don't you believe them? Untermensch. These people, they're trying to do their jobs. Most of them want an OBE off the king or the queen or something, or made a knighthood. They need all that. And then and then what about their pension and bonuses? They've been in their positions, salaried positions of professional classes. I mean, these girls are just working class. In fact, they're not even working. I mean, half the time you find out that these girls are 6, 7, 8, never done a day's work in their life. So you couldn't really call them working class, could you? I'd say they were underclass. And I think they should know their place. Going around the place, keep moaning all the time. Eh? I've had enough of it. I'm going to start a Go Griff Me Fund. I think we should send poor Lucy a bouquet of flowers, especially because it's bank holiday. I mean, so if you'd like to email me on, gertiewood@idon'tgiveashit.com, maybe we could get something going, and send it to Sinister Lucy at the, whatever it is, in government place in your London. Just do that. Should we do that? Should we all do it together, ladies? You have to excuse me, I've still got the froggies and fruities, you can see, can't you? The blossom's gone off the trees, though! Yes! At last the blossom's gone off the trees. So, you've got the beginnings of apples and cherries and plums and God knows what. So you'll probably hear me moaning on about that next thing. You'll go, oh, Gert, stop moaning about your bloody trees all the time. Anyway, shall I cut them down? Shall I just go and cut down? I think we should, because the trees annoy me. The trees annoy me like these grooming gang victims. Honestly, just annoying. Attention-seeking, aren't they, really, when you think of it? And what I find is I think Lucy and people in government need a lot more attention. They do. They need our concern and our consideration. We do. She's human. It's not her fault. She misspoke. Just because she said 10 times worse in private, that's between her and her God. It's nothing to do with us. And just because she was voted in by, let me think, who voted her in? Oh, yeah, us. Yeah, we got no right to comment. We got no right. No, stop. And Maggie, you can stop as well. Just stop. Do you know what I mean? Dog whistling. I can hear her from here. She's sending me subliminal messages, She said she's doing it on purpose. Bye-bye now.